Alright, so I'm back, and today we're finally going to look at the Fanstoys Jive figure. Let's see, when did this come out? Let's see. Sorry. I'm going on a Skullface video to see the date he posted it. December 19th, 2022. So, pretty much exactly 4 months later. Now, here's the story on why mine's late. And I don't understand. So, just about right when this figure came out, I put in the pre-order at BBTS. And I held on to that pre-order until it was about the end of February. And I gave up. I canceled it. And then, like, within a few hours, I'm like, you know what? No, I can't find it anywhere now. So I'm going to put my pre-order back on. Never got any notification saying that the shipment's coming in. Never got any notification that they're behind on shipments. No communication whatsoever. Never received anything from BBTS. I tried, when he first came out, I saw him post, like the Chosen Prime, Agabus, TF Source are all like, hey, we've got this in. Do you want it? And I just sat, I saw all those, posts on Facebook and stuff like that from them. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to skip that. I've got it pre-ordered through BBTS. It should be in, usually BBTS is a little bit slower, which is okay with me because, I'm not one of those reviewers are like, man, I gotta get that figure out for the review. Mine's usually late anyway. So anyway, I didn't order it from them, and by the time I was like, man, I don't think BBTS is ever going to get these in, I started looking for them, and I couldn't find them anywhere. So I posted on Facebook in the Cybertron group, like, hey, does anybody know where I can get one? And somebody was like, hey, I think it was Show Z store had them. They're like, hey, this store's got them. I was like, cool. And I ordered it. And then they said that they weren't able to get one after I did that. And so I must have got the last one. Anyway. So yeah, I finally got him. 4 months later. Everyone else has already reviewed him and done all that. So again, like I've said in all my videos lately, I'm not going to do the transformation. I'm usually late to the game on the transformations anyway, so nobody cares. I also don't want to do damage to the figure. Big example is my X-Transbot's Perceptor, who still just cannot go back together completely right, and I just don't want to do that because at the end of the day, I make about $1 on these figures, and I'm also just too busy to sit there and master the instructions, which I've never done well anyway. So I need to do like a pre-recorded message and just put it at the beginning of these videos because I'm getting tired of saying it. Anyway. So, here is the Fanstoys Jive figure. This is something I have been looking forward to for quite a while, and I'm very happy to finally have him in. He is a pretty good figure. I've got like one little QC issue on him, and we'll get into that here in a second. But let's start off with his accessories. So he comes with his gray pistol. It's all painted this one flat gray plastic, which I like. I think it looks great with that cartoon aesthetic that we're kind of going for these days. I think it looks good. Fits the bill. I've got no issues whatsoever. It's got the peg in the back of the hand, so it plugs into the right here, as opposed to tabbing into the palm, which I have to say I kind of prefer it this way. The Make Toys way of having the slot system and then you slide the gun into a cut slot, I still think that's the best, but I prefer this one over into the hand because sometimes that gets really funky trying to maneuver it in and around things. So anyway, he's got that. He does come with the shoulder cannon, which I know he has sometimes, but not all the time. So it's one of those, like, you know, if you like it, cool. If not, you don't have to do it. I don't think I will. And it looks like it just tabs in back here like that. It does not have a swivel. I wish it did. Just because it just gets a little funky having this like right there. I just kind of want it to go a little off to the side, you know, just something like that. But it is there. It is. It's a good feature if you are into the that. I also think it's a little large. I think to here would have been sufficient, but I don't think I'm gonna put it on him for display. So I'm not gonna get too nitpicky about it. I think that's it's a good gun. It's got a nice silver finish here and this like kind of silverish black here, which is a pretty good looking gun. All right, then he comes with the 2 speakers. They have the same kind of clip system, so if you wanted to, you can plug them in back here. Like that, and that looks good. And I think there was an episode where he had them coming out of his hips, so I don't know. Is there a place we can plug them in there? I'm not seeing one. No, I'm not seeing it, but you can get it up there for sure. That's pretty easy. And he does come with 2 of those. He also comes with the little grappling hook hand. Which, let's see here. So we can flip his hand in. Yes, the dog is snoring in the background. Some people come for just the dog. And then, yeah, there you go. So if that's something like you have to have with your Jazz, it is not something I need and will ever work with again. Like, that is going in the box, and I will never play with it again. This is it. This is the one time this particular accessory will be used by me. He also comes with 2 alternate faceplates. So let's see here. So this head section comes up like this, and we can and it's gone. Alright. So he's got the stoic face. He has a happy face. And he has the what's going on face. I think I might go with the what's going on kind of face. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. For posability, his head is on hinge swivel, so you get left and right. It gets pretty good far back. No side to side. Yeah, it all works pretty well. I think this little function here gets it so that it's just not quite all locked in. So it kind of has like a little bit of a gap in there. And that's kind of a bummer. I don't know if that's something I can kind of fix or not. It's just kind of, I don't know. When you add too many hinges and swivels, things start kind of not working very well. Shoulders ratcheted around. Out to the side. These panels, they have come undone a couple times on me, and I kind of just been fiddling with them, trying to keep them locked in right. I think that did it. But yeah, rotates around, bicep swivel, bends at the elbow, wrist swivels, fingers open and close. Let's see here. We've got the bottom three are on one pin, and then the top one, the pointer finger, is on its own finger as well. No real issues there. Issue I do have is this arm. The trying to get in there now because that other side had a extra thing that slides into there, so I'm trying to find that on this one. There it is. So let's try and get that in there. There we go. I'll hold it a little bit better. So this ratchet that goes around is really tight. It's not to that point where I feel like I'm breaking it, but it's to the point where I'm not super comfortable moving it, if that makes sense. So it's like it works. It's just this one is just a lot more smooth. This one is more. I just put in that little extra care because after that Warpath figure, I'm so scared of their shoulders. I tried loosening this joint or this screw here to see if maybe that will loosen it up, but all it did was pull the screw out, and nothing changed with the arms. So I'm not messing with it. Again, it's not to the super like, oh my god, this figure's ruined kind of point. It's just one of those like, ugh, I don't like it. Waist swivels, no issues there. It does have an ab crunch, gets you to there. I don't think you need too much more than that. You can move these flaps out of the way, and his hips ratchet up to there, back to there, out to the side, thigh swivel, bends at the knee. Pretty good range there, if you ask me. The feet are on a rocker. This comes undone from this quite easily, but at the same time, the way it all functions, it's not like it's not the end of the world, and it's also because it's two different sections for transformation. But it does move, and then this does also tilt as well. So it's just kind of like it comes back, it locks in to give you more foot stability. So I'm not knocking that part that it comes undone because it seems to be that's the way it's designed to work, and it works well because of it. Outside of this one shoulder, everything on here is tolerance just about perfect. I think this could lock in just a tad better, the forehead to the head. But everything else is pretty top shelf when it comes to tolerances. The paint is great. I know some people don't like that cartoon aesthetics as well. And, you know, I was 100% with everyone that's saying, oh, these cartoon things are looking too plain. But the thing is once you start getting a number of the cartoon figures, or the toon accurate ones, once you start kind of getting them in a row, they start looking really good. Like the more cartoons you have, the better it looks. Like the whole shelf starts coming together. I wish I could just cut here and show you the shelf, but I just don't have the time. So instead, here he is next to Streetwise, who I just reviewed earlier this week. And it's the Streetwise figure is good, but next to the Jazz, he doesn't look so good. Yeah, he doesn't. And here he is with the Transform Element Prime, and they look good. Again, the Jazz, because he's got this nice white finish overall. All the white has a nice finish to it. All the black has a metallic finish to it. So it all looks pretty good. I think, when... And he's here too, so I'll just set him back here. So when it comes to, do I recommend this figure? 100%. If you can find him for a good price. I would not pay an insane amount. I think I paid $170 for him shipped, which wasn't too bad. I think it was $159 or something like that originally. So 4 months late, and I got him for just $10 more or something like that. I wouldn't pay an insane price on it. But it's a good figure. If you have the Make Toys one, like the premium finish one, I don't think this would be... I don't think it would be worthwhile to upgrade if you have that particular version. If we're talking the aftermarket pricing. I hope that makes sense. If you have the Make Toys Premium Jazz, and you can't find this guy anywhere except for eBay, and you're spending over $200 on it, I wouldn't recommend this guy. If you're buying him at retail, then yes, I would say he's worth the upgrade. But I wouldn't say he's worth the upcharge past retail just to upgrade from an existing Jazz. I think he cleans up real well. You can also take these doors out if you want, by the way, and get that look if you prefer. Which, I never had a Jazz growing up. So, it was one of those, wait, did we? We did. We had a G2 Jazz. Yeah. Huh. Forgot about him. There you go. I had the G2 Jazz. And I think he had the doors out. And then we got the Generations Jazz when that came out, the Chug version, and his doors were out. Or no, he was revealed as Shield, wasn't he? But so I've always seen him with the doors out, but I know in the cartoon he didn't. So it's it's nice to have that option as well. It's not forced upon you one or the other. It's a great figure. I really like it. He's a lot of fun to mess with. I've barely put him down. And that's one of those things I really, really like about some Fantoys figures is I pull them off the shelf and I just mess with them. Jazz is going to be one of them. Huffer and Beachcomber and Cliff Jumper. Those are all fantastic figures. Cerebros is Trailbreaker is. It's I like the Trailbreaker so much. I want to get their Huffer, but I don't like how he's got chromed legs. Because that's chrome is almost like the reverse of the cartoon aesthetic that we've been going with. So it's kind of like a weird choice to me that they would make him chrome. But anyway, and then Skull Cruncher, the Soundwave, and Drag Strip. I find myself pulling these guys off the shelf all the time just to kind of mess with. There's other figures that they make that I will not pull off the shelf and mess with. One of which is the Mind Wipe, their RC Cup. You couldn't pay me to take Warpath off the shelf to mess with. Mirage is one I would pull off. Cyclonus, not so much. Like, I love the way the Cyclonus looks, but because he's got some QC things with his elbows, yeah, I just get frustrated. Insecticons, I usually don't mess with. They're just a little on the fidgety side in compared to figures that are coming out now. But yeah, anyway, my point is like, he's just one of those figures that I want to pull off the shelf all the time and just mess with, and just get into a good pose and leave him in random locations throughout my apartment, and just like surprise, here's Jazz. It just I don't get that with a lot of other companies. Masterpiece, I think the last Masterpiece figure I did that with for an extended period of time was Optimus Primal. That dude went on vacation with me. I have pictures of him all over the place. He went on an adventure. That was fun. I got pictures like sleeping on a bed of bananas. I had him like standing on the balcony. He was in the pool, like not in the pool, but next to the pool. I had a blast with him. But yeah, it's like, that's the thing I always chase. Is finding that next figure that I'm just gonna be like, I don't want to put this down. I don't want to put this away. I don't want to not have him in my hand at some point. I really hate figures like the Transart Black Arachnia we looked at not too long ago, where it's already broken. I broke it right after I did the video, and I cropped it in there. But like pieces of it just falls off. She's not very well built or designed. The MP Tigertron, who's just fidgety as fuck, and things kind of he broke again on camera because they can't do things right. It just the Rat Trap, Transart Rat Trap, he doesn't balance. I can't stand it when a figure can't balance and you have to use a stand to get him to balance. It's one thing if they come with a stand and it helps them balance, like okay, let's see, what's a good example? Okay, like the Mafex figures. They all come with stands. They don't need stands to stand, but it's nice to have the stand because sometimes you can get them in a really cool dynamic pose that would be impossible to do without a stand. Or the Seekers, the MP Seekers, like you can set the stands up just right so that they're all kind of like flying, and they come with those blast effects so you can put them on their feet so it looks like they're taking off. That's where stands should be. They shouldn't be or like NECA, like a lot of NECA figures. It's like they'll stand. You'll be able to get them stand without much of an issue. But you can also buy the little circle stand plates, plug them into the feet, and then they're just that much more stable. And it's that's where it's like, okay, that's cool. But when the figure will not stand up on its own, and you have to have a stand to get it, like the Transart Rat Trap and the Transart Black Arachnia, then I can't stand it. I hate it. It's just stupid. But anyway, that was a whole other rant in there. But anyway, as far as the Jazz goes, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I think his paint is great. He looks good. Got a little bit of QC going with that shoulder. And I do kind of wish some of the torso would kind of plug in just a tad tighter. And then the headpiece just kind of needs to, I think it needs to get a little bit more seamless. It's funny because it's like, he does almost the same exact thing that he does with his head, but his is just engineered so much better and so much neater. And then you just replace the entire head when you want to swap them out, as opposed to trying to do the faceplate. And it's like, that was a better way to do it than this. So, anyway, I guess that's really all I got.